Hi, this is Lindsay, one of the co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hey, Choose to Rise fans, kjpmeyer here. I wanted to extend an invite to you to join me in my Healthy Living Accountability group, Together We Rise. It is there where we work on fitness, we work on nutrition, we work on positive mindsets, and supporting each other in the process of living a healthy, fulfilling life. In whatever season of life that you're in, everyone has the opportunity to live a healthier, more fulfilling life. So join me. Head me up at chooseriseup@gmail.com or check out chooseriseup.com to learn more about how you can be a part of this amazing group and feel fulfilled and healthy for life. I was okay as long as someone else was okay with me. Courtney Misener. Hello, welcome to Choose to Rise. Welcome to Public House Media. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. We're going to be talking about approval addiction. And this quote, I was okay as long as someone else was okay with me, came from a conference I was at just a week ago with about 75, 80 young women from our area and a few people from around from ladies around the community that are helping girls live stronger, live with more faith, and just know that they are enough. And one of the speakers that day was Courtney Misener, and she's from the area as well. She's a pastor's wife and hope speaker. And she talked about this approval addiction and how girls, everyone really, anyone that's kind of a people pleaser or whatever, has this longing desire to people please, to be a part of something, seek approval from other people. And oftentimes we get into this social media world. I'm going to be talking about today a topic that came from a speaker that I was at just a week ago, and approval addiction. And it's something that I felt like, man, more people need to hear this. More people need to learn about this because we all fall into this trap sometimes. And I wrote down this quote from her. I was okay as long as someone else was okay with me. And how many of you have ever felt that way? How many of you have ever thought those thoughts? Like maybe not those exact words, but things that others, you've been a people pleaser maybe your whole life. Everyone needs to feel appreciated, right? This stems from our very human need to know and feel that we're doing a good job. We are actually designed to be in community with people and to have connections with people. But it also kind of stems from the fact that as mammals, we need to have a bond with our parents, with our family, with our clan. It's just kind of innate in us that we have a community piece. Plus a little recognition also prompts our brain to kind of feel that feel-good chemical of dopamine. And anytime that you can get that feel-good chemical, whether it's likes on Facebook, whether it's followers on your Instagram, whether it's someone telling you did a good job, if your love language is words of affirmation like me, it's definitely something that you really appreciate. Those feel-good chemicals are constantly coming in those areas. But however, when we're feeling appreciated, that's a healthy thing. But when we feel the need to seek approval from other people just to live our lives, that's where it gets to be kind of teetering on the edge of a problem. If you're looking for approval from your boss, if you're looking for your spouses, your parents, your spouse, your parents, friends, neighbors, even your kids or your friend group, it's quite the opposite. Being addicted to such approval can cause you miss opportunities and put your own dreams on hold for the sake of being approved of for others. I kind of fell into this trap myself of my drive always was like, I have work ethic. Like I'm going to prove myself to other people. It was kind of my whole life, what I felt like I needed to do. And it always made me an achiever. I had to create success in my life. I had to be seen. I had to show other people that I was worthy. And it really became an issue when I was always doing something for other people and burning myself out on the end. But really, when you really love who you are, and you don't need to seek approval from other people, but you really look for one approval in the world, that's his approval. There are two people that you need to have love yourself. You need to have Jesus love you, and then you need to know that Jesus loves you. You need, like, know that in your core. And then you also need to know that you love you and that you are worthy of that love that Jesus has for you. And if other people love you, cool. If they don't, that's not the end world, right? And so if you're addicted to approval, how can you tell that you're truly addicted to someone's approval of others? Well, there are several kind of telltale signs, and maybe that these apply to you, maybe they don't, but we're just kind of going to roll with them. So if you describe yourself as a people pleaser, if you're more interested in how many friends you have on Facebook than actual friends you have in life, if you will do anything your boss, your spouse requests of you, even if it's unreasonable and puts excess pressure on you. I myself was just taking on so much from everyone around me. Like, I was the yes girl. Like, can you do that? Yes. Can you do that? Yes. Can you do that? Yes. And I was filling my plate so heavy with everyone else's requests that I wasn't taking time for myself, and I wasn't taking time for the things that I needed to do for developing who I was and connecting and building my relationship with my God. So or with anybody, really. I was just always trying to do something for other people so that I would be seen and I wouldn't let anyone else down, and all those kinds of things. If you have trouble saying no to people, if you measure your success based on what others think of you, if you take in an obligation and a request of others only to feel resentful for them later. Hello, that's where I was. If you've not got your dream off, or like started your new business, or becoming whatever it might be because someone told you not to. If you're worried about all the things happening to other people before your own needs are met. A lot of your free time is taken up fulfilling the needs of others. And if you're rarely taking time for yourself. If you do something that someone doesn't approve of, you feel guilty for it. How many of you have done that before? Like, if someone has an opinion about something that you've just done, does that make you feel bad? I hope not, because you should not worry about what others people think. You should worry about yourself. How to stop seeking approval from other people? Well, you have to grow your own confidence. You have to understand and believe the fact that you are created for more, and you were created as a unique, perfect individual that God has put here for a specific reason. One of the things that Courtney said is that, we want friendship in our lives. We need things like that, but we need to believe that you were created for more, and that we need to speak love and light into ourselves before we can go out and really make sure that we're not seeking that light and approval from other people. The risk of being addicted to others' approval is that you end up living your life for the other people. You don't feel free to pursue your own goals or your own dreams, or if you do, you feel guilty for it or you're only doing them halfway because you feel like you have to do something for other people first, or that they need to approve of it first. We talk about this a lot on our team, and that your sister who's a teacher didn't ask you permission to be a teacher, or your mom didn't ask you permission to be a banker, or your husband didn't ask approval for him to go get a job someplace else. So don't ask for approval or feel like you need other people's approval for you to do a coaching business or whatever it is that you wanted to do. When people set out to do a regular job, or they seek out to do something it's in a career kind of sense, we don't usually question that, right? But if it's unconventional, or if it's something that's a little bit different or off the grain, people tend to throw their opinions out there a lot. And a quote that from Laura Otting from the book Limitless, I was able to hear from her in face-to-face at a coaching event one time. And one of her quotes that I just love so much as well is, don't give votes to people who shouldn't even have a voice, right? And if you're seeking approval and you have that approval addiction, you're probably looking for people, you're probably giving votes to people that are giving all kinds of voice into your world, and they shouldn't even be there. If they're not living your dream, if they're not going in the direction that you want to go, if they're not doing the things that you want to do, then don't give them the time of day of thinking about what they should be thinking about yourself. And Brene Brown says that as well too. Don't take advice from people that aren't in the arena, right? If they're not in there fighting with you, if they're not in there doing it too, then they're not going to have the great advice you need. It's kind of like, if you're wanting help with, and maybe this is a crazy example, but like if you're wanting advice or approval or just direction on something like painting, would you like painting a pretty landscape, let's just say, I'm just pulling this out of everywhere, but and would you go ask the butcher how to do that? If he's never painted anything, would you ask him that question? Probably not. So if people haven't gone in the direction that you want to go, or they're not passionate about the things you're passionate about, or if they've never achieved the thing that you're trying to achieve, then don't ask them those things, and don't care what they think about it, because they're not going in that direction anyway. They don't have any advice to give you because they've never done it. And so that seems super simple, right? But it's a simple process how you can stop your habit seeking approval, and where you will never really find it anyway. This gives us the right now. As you do your exploration of who does it best answers, with your heart instead of your head, while avoiding your analyzing and debating about the right answer, be honest with yourself. Where are you? Where could you be saying no? Where could you, be ignoring? What could you say differently about things? And I also want you to think of 4 questions if you are wondering if this is you. Think about someone whose approval you would like, and in the moment, simply ask yourself, could I let go of wanting to get approval from this person? Would I? When? And could I allow myself to give myself approval, love directly as best I can? Each time you cycle through the above questions, or the 4-mark questions, you're going to get some relief. Be patient with yourself and be persistent with the exploration. You will see results. If you apply yourself, you can get the point where you no longer addicted to other people's approval, that you can feel confident in who you are. You can love and love yourself exactly as you are, and you are able to do the things that you need to do in life, because you remember that the source of love and approval is not from other people. That source of love and approval is from yourself and from the one that made you. And that's all the approval that you need. You don't need to get it from other people. You don't have to ask permission from other people. You don't have to worry about what other people think, because if you can let go of those feelings and feel whole and complete as yourself, you're going to have a lot more joy in your heart. You're going to have a lot more confidence to go do the things you're going to do, and you're going to be able to live the life that you were designed for, because you're not worried about what other people's unique gifts are and how they're going to be able to do things either. So hopefully that's helpful to you today. If you feel like you yourself are a part of that approval addiction, that you're always seeking other people, I would work on finding who you are, and really face that, that the issue at hand was with, whose are you? That's another question to ask. Whose are you, and how can you live up to that expectation? What gifts has he given you? What love has he poured out on you? And how can you live in those moments? So self-care is so important. I agree with you, Maria. I am so glad you're listening today. And I hope and pray that you can get out of this approval addiction if you're in it, and that you can really love who God's made you to be and connect to him more. One thing that I've learned definitely over the last year, as I've been, strengthening my spiritual health, there's 4 areas of health: your spiritual health, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health. And you can work on all 4 of those. The most important one is your spiritual health, because that drives all of the rest of it. Because like I said, even this approval addiction thing really is just about you loving who God made you to be, and loving him for loving you for it, and not worrying about what other people think. So I hope today that you are able to break your approval addiction. You're really able to focus in on who God made you to be, who you should be in life, and that's only on him and on you. And if you can be okay with who you are versus being okay when someone else thinks you're okay, then you're going to be heading in the right direction. So thanks so much for joining me today. I really hope that you were able to see me today, even though there is a dark screen in front of me. And if not, you could hear me for sure. And that you share this with someone else, that you tell them about Choose to Rise, especially if you're in the podcast version, taking a screenshot and sharing with other people, letting other people know about what we're doing here. And follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and let's create a community of people who are really helping others rise up out of their current self and live their best life. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will hopefully see you back here again next week. Bye.